The Supreme Court set to hear arguments tomorrow in two landmark cases involving transgender athletes, cases that could deliver a nationwide ruling on a hot-button issue.
Former collegiate athlete and advocate to keep biological men out of women's sports, Riley Gaines, spoke earlier today ahead of the hearing.
Think about yourself. Maybe you have a daughter. When you were in middle school, right? Like locker rooms aren't a comfortable place in general, right? Even when you're changing with your friends, people of your same sex. Now imagine adding a boy into that mix.
Former volleyball player and independent women ambassador Payton McNabb joins us now. Payton, it's so good to see you. Payton, this is so personal for you. I mean, you were severely injured by a man playing women's sports in volleyball in high school. Partial paralysis on your right side, vision problems, headaches, cognitive issues. How are you doing today?
Well, honestly, the past 3 years have been really challenging, not only for me, just for my family in general. And my body has had a hard time adapting and healing for these injuries that could have 100% been avoidable, which is what makes it so frustrating. But honestly, the past few months have been the best months for my body. I feel like I'm slowly starting to heal. And I'm so thankful that the Lord's healing me. But again, none of this should have happened, and this all could have been avoided so easily if the adults in the room were willing to stand up for me at that time.
Payton, how big of a deal are these Supreme Court cases to the future of women's sports in America, in your view?
I mean, this is a huge deal. The High Court isn't being asked to create something new here. They're simply being asked to restore what was promised all along, that women and girls deserve protections, equal opportunity, and a system that they can trust. And I mean, if you're a Supreme Court justice, you should be able to understand what basic biology is. So I'm excited to see the outcome, because this means everything to the next generation, which is exactly who we're fighting for. And it's such a relief, because all these years, me and so many other incredible women who have been in this fight are finally getting to a point where the fact that the Supreme Court's even having to take on something like this and explain that there is a biological difference between a man and a woman, and we don't even know the outcome yet. And the fact that we're worried about the outcome is the real problem here. So this is incredibly important, such a huge step in the right direction for the next generation who should never, ever have to go through what we went through.
Well, you know, Payton, there's something you said that really stood out to me. You said you could have been protected if there were adults in the room. Adults had protected you. Why haven't more adults protected young women like you?
You know, I really don't know, because I feel like the other side, they've twisted it this whole time. You know, these past few years, they've told women and girls to just shut up, step aside, and that it's not actually happening. I know with my story, they've just said, oh, well, that's just one girl, that's just one volleyball player. And the fact that we've had more and more stories come out in the past few years, and that just shows what we said in the beginning. This is what the female athletes were saying from the very beginning, that this was going to continue to happen if adults didn't stand up for their girls. And they refused to take it as serious as it was, and now more and more girls have had to experience this in some way. It's completely unfair, and it shouldn't have never happened. And the fact that I know that not everyone believes in what they're saying. Everyone knows that there's a biological difference between a man and a woman, whether they want to admit it or not.
Payton, you know, you look at polling on the issue, and a majority of Americans think that accommodations to transgender athletes have gone too far. And when you break it down on party lines, it's a huge majority of Republicans that think that, and a pretty significant majority of independents. When you talk to young women out in the world, in America, about these issues, because you're an advocate on these things, what do you typically hear from them?
I mean, they're just sick of it. It has gone on for way too long. It's affecting everything, not even just the sports, but the locker rooms, the sororities, the prisons, and it seeps down through, and it's just a spiral, which is what we tried to warn in the beginning in the first place. So it's pretty much the same reaction from everyone. They're either threatening to silence, but it's getting to the point where we are just completely sick of it. I mean, the president acted on it, 27 states have acted on it, and now it's up to the High Court to have the final say. What is a woman?
You know, real quick, I assume you've gotten some threats as a result of standing up and speaking out?
Oh, absolutely. Anyone in this fight has understood what you kind of have to go through. These past few years have not been easy at all. It's caused me to have to move home from school because the threats are so bad. But to me, I know that I'm protected by the creator of all, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And I know that I'm walking in the truth. And, when you have that, when you know that, it is easy. It's easy to keep fighting for what you know is right because you know that you're on the right side of history.
You're a brave woman.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you're on the mend.
You got a lot of courage. Thanks for joining us tonight, Peyton. We appreciate it.